And as everybody enters the elevator makes its way up. Now, this elevator ride is a little bit long. You guys are going up to one of the penthouse floors.
We get some elevator music.
You do get some elevator music. The question, however, is there any discussion on the way, or shall we just go to the top?
We should figure out who is talking.
Not me. I'm already ticked off.
I am new face in town, so I probably don't hold as much weight as I seem to.
I do better with threats than I do with actual diplomacy.
Are we flipping another coin?
I've got my back. Yeah, you've got your. Yeah. I've got your back if you've got mine.
And the Order has to solve the problems once again.
That's your job.
It's in your name.
Order. That's like your thing. It's in your title.
The Switzerland of covenants.
Unfortunately, the Order seems to be forced into these politics today.
I just want to finish my drugs, man.
You get dragged into this every millennium. Relax.
So close. Okay, look.
Every 100 years. Okay.
With that decision being made, the elevator dings, and you are greeted into what almost looks like a boardroom, or as if somebody converted a foyer into a boardroom. It has a very long table. Lucius is already, or the man you assume to be Lucius, is already sitting at the head of the table, facing the elevator directly. He makes a gesture at the table for you guys.
Go forward and sit down.
Mhm.
Yeah. Take a seat.
As I'm sitting down, I'm just gonna say, so, do you want the flowery talk or the blunt talk? I don't know how you operate.
This man, he appears to be in his early 30s, slicked black, blonde hair, gray colored eyes, probably 6'3", relatively well built. His suit is Italian, silk, beautifully tailored. He sits and kind of leans on his armchair. I don't have a lot of time for you types, so blunt would be fine.
Well, I don't know if it's happened at all on this side of the city, but specifically, many of us were recently firebombed this night, this morning, whatever the start of the night is, this dusk. In addition, at the site of all of these firebombings, we saw Strix. I'm also looking at his eyes. Is he possessed?
His eyes are gray.
Just eyeballing everybody.
I am paranoid.
Mm-hmm.
So, we were recently attacked by the Strix. It is quite likely they are infiltrating this city, and I'm bringing that to your attention. In addition, there is talk amongst our youngsters, which we are trying to stamp out, of firebombing this very tower. I believe you need to be aware of that. I do not want this to be an attack, although the youngsters are planning it. We are here also in regards to our missing prefect, Omar. He was going to send a letter to talk with you directly. He disappeared. I suspect Strix, although I have no proof. We brought the letter, right?
Yeah. I think
Priscila has it. Priscila has it.
Wait, I
I
can hear
believe
you.
my companion has the final draft of that letter if you wish to see it.
He has this. You could not imagine a more bored expression on this man's face as he listens to you. He goes, Strix on your guys' side of the river, that sounds like a Carthian problem. I don't see why it requires any sort of notation for me.
Strix are not bound to rivers. They can fly, and they hate all kindred. I believe it's at least a warning, just in case they decide to start operating over there. We are working on dealing with them ourselves, but it's a words.
This goes beyond covenant problems. This is a kindred issue.
He purses his lips and kind of adjusts his position somewhat. Well, I mean, seems like you guys can't control stuff on your side of the river to begin with, so once again, I fail to see it a problem for our members. But
If they wipe out the Carthians and the rest of us, where do you think they will end up?
tied to a pole and burned.
Literally, Louis is literally going to bite his tongue. If you
I get it.
insist.
I get it. Not your side, not your problem. But when they fake the attack to be your side, and youngsters are running with it possibly, then it becomes an issue. We're just giving a heads up. And if you can point this in a direction, if you see any other Strix flying about, moping around any alleys,
If
possibly a heads up.
If any Strix come within my area, as I just told your companion there, we will tie them up to a nice little pole and set them on fire. Simple enough solution.
You do know that it's remarkably difficult, and I say this as a scientist, to tie smoke to a pole.
That's why you set out bait. A couple less neonates never really hurt anybody.
And you believe these Strix will fall for bait. They are
They're predators.
cousins. They are just as capable of scheming as us.
I would like to differ on that, but to each their own. Where is this letter, by the way?
I hand over the papers.
He stands up as you guys are sitting on the opposite side of the table and takes the papers as he goes back and sits down and he kind of looks through them. So, Omir wanted peace. Well, I have no interest in shedding blood over upstarts like you, so that's not too much of an issue. And I mean, you guys were brave enough to actually come here, which is somewhat impressive. So, as for the Strix, I don't foresee them being an issue on our side. As for, you stated, firebombings, my building, I will get a group of my people on that. Ones that I can trust. They'll handle the defense of this tower and other locations important to me. For that, I will give you a boon. And at this point, he writes down something on a note and passes it around, or passes it to you guys. He literally takes an actual stack of post-it notes, writes it on the post-it note, and then kind of throws it down the table at you guys. And he goes, "That is the location of a warehouse near the river. Let's see if you guys like what you see there." I am taken by your moxie coming here. Why don't you help yourselves to a little bit of a snack before you leave?
Fine. Thank you. Please consider a long-lasting peace. That's the best outcome.
Long lasting for our kind is not permanent, but whatever.
Takes her leave.
Quick question for out of game. The second elder is up yet, or are we dealing with that yet?
Rumored.
Rumored. Okay. A quick question, if I may. What is your take on the rumors of new elder rising?
He kind of snorts and he goes, "I have a group that's looking into that as well. If rumors are to be true, they think it is..." He kind of stops and he chuckles. "Rumors are that it awoke somewhere to the east, near the ruins of Babylon."
East?
Which is...
And I'm not sure if that really worries. That shouldn't really affect us. I'm sure he has plenty of other cities in the way, other kindred to be ruled over.
Rumors tend to travel very quickly, and I mean, realistically, it's not that far of a hop, skip, and a jump, so to speak, if it really is an elder from that region. Wouldn't take him more than a couple of nights to get here, realistically.
No, but
Is there a reason for him to come here? What is here for him that he wants?
He goes, Lucius kind of shrugs and goes, "That I would have no idea."
if there was a second elder, I'm sure we'd have confirmed reports or any proof. Rumors of an elder waking up out of torpor, quite in line with how the Strix possess. I'm still blaming them, even though you may not see them as a threat. They might not be yet. It could just be a bunch of young Strix flying around hating us. But if there's elder Strix walking around too, we could have a problem very quickly. But that's a developing story.
Strix are a problem. I'm not necessarily saying they aren't. I don't believe them to be the big bag boogeymen that rumors and hearsay try to paint them out to be. I believe they might be more of a symptom rather than the actual illness.
I have not seen one myself, so it's not a big concern of mine.
He goes, "Is there anything else? Or can I get my cleaning crew in here to get the filth off my chairs?"
I think I'm ready.
Sylvia was already heading towards the elevator.
I could make a really bad decision and ask him if he's interested in any drugs. I'm not going
Drugs
to
to
do
the
that.
enemy, really.
Look, we're capitalist.
Experiment on them, yes, but don't sell them the good stuff.
It's not good yet. I gotta make it. But I haven't finished it. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just rambling. I guess I'd leave too.
Yeah, I'll leave as well. But turning around at the last minute and love the suit.
He smiles.
Can I do like a quick perception check? Like, can I see if I notice anything that catches my attention?
Like, what specifically?
Any can like I know we can scent like blood. Is there anything that I can sense, like other kindred that I recognized while we were in there?
You can go ahead and give me a perception check, yes. That's what's plus composure.
Two.
It's faint. And I mean, it's very faint. It's definitely coming from inside the penthouse somewhere. But it is faint enough in this room that unless you were really trying to smell something, you wouldn't smell it. But you definitely smell what smells like rotting flesh somewhere in the penthouse. It's not fresh, whatever it is.
Okay. I follow everybody else behind them.
The elevator doors close and it begins its way down.
This was productive.
Slightly. Arthur.
What does old rotting flesh mean?
Are you saying this
Something
out loud or
died?
thinking it?
I'm saying it out loud to you guys. I'm assuming we're alone in the elevator.
Okay.
Yes.
I was like, are you still talking to yourself?
Louis going to sort of subtly to avoid any kind of like camera movements or whatever, and just point up towards the ceiling and then.
I'm sorry, must have been just me.
He was old guy.
I have a really bad theory about that, and I don't like what I'm thinking.
I kind of got a few myself, but let's make it back to our side of the turf.
The elevator dings and the same male receptionist is standing at the desk and he goes, "Well, I hope it was a productive meeting."
We're alive.
Business concluded. Let's get our stuff back.
He kind of gives a raised eyebrow. "I never stated anything about giving you your stuff back."
Oh, come on. I know my knives are pretty, but you can get yourself accustomed. Probably too small for your hands anyway.
Let the Invictus have their show of power. We can buy new ones. They're not that expensive.
I want to have some. I want to at least try this. Right, here we go.
No, please
Jeez,
don't
what are
do
you
something
doing?
stupid. I'm leaving. I'm going out the door. I'm not a
Just to see if it works. If it doesn't land, I'm walking away. But
I can't afford a new gun.
I'll buy you one. Just stop. Kill us now.
can I go for a mesmerize?
All right. Does he get a resist on that? I forget.
Yeah, resolve plus blood potency.
Okay.
We made it so far, guys.
As
Resolve.
far as you down in that chair.
I'm only going to see if only going to try and see if this one lands. So...
Ooh.
4 successes.
Oh.
Not bad. Not bad at all. Right, so Here we go.
Roll a 1. Roll a 1.
Aha!
Oh my god.
His eyes glaze over somewhat as he listens to you.
Return our belongings now.
Hmm. He subtly nods and turns around and puts in the combination to the safe and then produces the same plastic container with all your stuff in it.
Could I possibly... I wanted to peer over your shoulder and just...
See what the combo was?
Yeah, I want the combo.
Give me a perception check.
What is that again? Wits?
Wits plus composure.
Oh, sure, I gotta remember. Ah.
60, 19, 24.
16.
60 or
Thank you.
16?
60. 6-0.
Thank you. Cool.
Alright. I'd take my stuff.
Get my knives. Put it back. And just sashay on out in a fast pace.
And while we've got this, I'm going to spend 2 vitae, and as we're leaving, and go, oh, and by the way, none of us were ever here.
We're on camera.
Really? There's so many cameras.
Didn't know we were here.
I'm just telling him that. He's got no memory of us, hopefully.
Yeah.
All being well and good.
As you guys leave the building and get back into the Porsche.
You know, when I said we shouldn't do anything stupid, I expected, like, was there Carthian or the Crone to do it. Not you.
Hey.
Please. You have to live a little.
Stupid or fun?
Fun.
Besides, he's just practically declared war on the Strix. My theory is we let him have it. When he ultimately loses, we have the run of this side of the river as well.
I don't think he's going to lose. We smelled rotting flesh, did we not?
You tell.
Maybe did.
I think, didn't Priscilla mention it?
I did.
She started to, but then she didn't elaborate.
Yes.
Right.
You smelled rotting flesh, right, Priscilla?
I did. Faint, but it was there. Not. It might be anywhere in the
only
building.
way for a young
Could have been a snack he
Strix-
had.
No. The only way for a young Strix to get a body is to possess a corpse, a rotting corpse. He seemed unconcerned. I bet it's because he's already made a deal with them.
And knowing the Strix, they will probably renege.
Yes, but not until we're dead.
Possibly true. So you guys want to meet back up at Mikhail's?
I kind of want to go to warehouse, he said, unless you don't want to.
Oh yeah,
That's
warehouse.
gonna be that's a trap. It's gotta be a trap. This guy,
How about I do a drive-by while you guys head out?
I thought we were gonna storm the castle and look for rotting flesh, but okay.
We're right out the building. We just got our stuff. I need more
want to end the
stuff.
campaign right now? You want to end it today? Go to the next set of the story? Because
Go
that's
to
what's gonna
warehouse.
happen.
I'm just throwing options.
I don't think anyone here is a combat character.
Not really.
Priscilla.
Mikhail can kind of hold his own in a fight, but he's not exactly built for it.
Basically rely on telling people to stop.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Priscilla's got 5 dots in riding the wave. She's a combat character.
More than welcome to try.
Now I know that.
Just weighing out our options. What does everybody want to do then? We can go to the warehouse, reconvene at our safe place, or storm the castle.
I think
Let's
maybe
see
phone
his
ahead.
warehouse. Just saying.
Maybe phone a. If we're returning to the night shift, I would suggest we phone ahead. Who knows what's happened in the time we've been away?
Yes, we
That's true.
check on Shem.
I can go with Sylvia or Silva? I'm sorry.
Sylvia.
Sylvia. And we could check out the warehouse. I don't think we should just go in. Like, I could try to sneak in and see what exactly is going on because it could be a trap. Most likely is. But we could also find other things that can fit the puzzle, so to speak.
Would you like something possibly to at least scout out in advance?
Like?
Like send a rat.
Something that I've learned over. Not quite. A revenant.
If you can do it, that's an idea.
I don't think the Invictus are gonna take kindly if we kill a random passerby on their side of the city and turn him into a revenant.
No, don't need to.
What do you
a
have?
drunk?
You have something already. When?
Something I learned over time. You let so much of your humanity go. You learn the ability to command revenants as well as animals.
Ooh. I like the sound of that.
I believe we don't really have a whole lot of revenants just kind of roaming the streets to command. Do we?
Unlikely.
What's the current revenant population looking like? Like what is National Geographic telling me?
Do they fill out part of the census? Is that
Yeah, sure they do. All right.
current living state under revenant alive?
Invictus probably have a census, right? Yes.
How about you guys go, me and Priscilla, we just do a drive-by, see how the warehouse looks, and then just come on back.
And at this point, I'm going to remove the gun and at least take something with a little more stopping power than a knife, please.
I take it. I expect a little bit more glitter on it, knowing you. Okay. She takes it, put it in her back jacket pocket.
She might return it back to you with bedazzle.
Nothing too gauche, please.
No promises. He tosses a helmet to Priscilla. Hang on tight.
Wait. Oh. I don't really do motorcycles.
Boom! We out!
So, Sylvia and Priscilla are heading towards the address on the post-it note, and then the three of you are heading back to night shift?
Was that plan, or if they see nothing wrong with warehouse, what? Are we gotta go later? Or we just ignore it?
The Invictus man here said before we leave, so I reckon once we cross that bridge, we're not coming back over for blood.
In
Besides, things are moving quickly, though. I mean, yes, blood would be nice, but not having the city burned down is also quite nice, I gotta say.
this is so back to the night shift then.
Maybe we wait for the others to report back, see what they find.
We follow for a bit.
All right. Well, while you guys decide that fully, I'm going to go over to Sylvia and Priscilla as they make their way along the coast to the.
Holding on to my dear unlife.
I'm stopping at the yellow lights and going through the yellow. We're fine. California roll.
All right.
You know what that is.
Unfortunately, this warehouse is. Go ahead.
Just an aside, it sounds better than London rules. Which London rules is red. Go on, 3 more. Go on. It's-
Yikes.
Jeez. Yeah.
Do people not know how to drive? What? Does no one know how to drive?
This warehouse isn't really all that close. It is roughly about an hour away from the towers. It's a small warehouse. It looks like maybe it handles, with its size, you couldn't really fathom that it handles any sort of like major import or export. It's likely, just by looking at it, owned by a retail or maybe a wholesale business in its size.
On the way there, I would like to activate these tackles. It just wants to have it on for the night, just in case.
What does that do?
Borrow senses can focus to know if someone's going to attack and to pinpoint the weakest person in the room.
Okay.
And it's have to roll wits plus, as I said, empathy plus auspice.
Okay. So give us that roll.
Where's my... Okay, there's my auspice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's 3 successes then?
No, I didn't roll anything yet. It's being
Okay.
weird. Sorry.
Nope.
I don't activate that tonight.
Yeah, unfortunately, something's off. You hit a speed bump at the wrong time and it jitters the hell out of you.
I'll try again later.
I squeeze harder.
Don't ruin my jacket.
The claws are going in.
I have knives placed in there.
Alright, as stated, you pull up to this warehouse. Small. No, but from what you can tell, it doesn't seem like anybody's in there.
I want to make a full circle of the place before I park my bike a few distance away. Any lights? Any movement?
No lights. Nope. This place is completely, at least from the outside, it appears to be completely abandoned. Or not abandoned, but closed.
I'm gonna park off to the side. Just get off and calm Priscilla down. No one can't take a ride.
I already go ahead and just activate face in the crowd.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, is anybody approaching the building? Opening the front door? Going through a window?
Sylvia, how do you want to, because obviously I could try to blend in. I blend in very easily. So do you
can
want to go
I got face in a crowd too.
build for it more? And this is
Yeah.
kind of my lifestyle. But what I was gonna say, did you want to go in together or separate?
I'd rather not have you go alone. So you take lead and I follow.
Okay. I go
I'll
ahead.
keep a distance just in case if I suck at this.
As
Keep your energy level down. Try
You talking to Envy?
Oh no, I'm talking at the club. I recall how energetic you were.
Yeah, glow.
If we're gonna be stealthy, you're gonna have to keep that energy on check at least for the next few moments.
Understood.
I start making my way towards the building.
All right, through the front door.
Yeah, we'll just go to the front.
The door opens, unlocked. You enter into what appears to be an office type area, maybe where a receptionist would sit. I need you to make me a resolve plus composure check. Real quick.
Both of us or just her?
Are you going through the front door? Well, if you're close to her when she opens the front door, I would need you to do it as well.
Okay.
3.
3, okay.
Oh, this sucks.
The overwhelming scent of blood immediately hits your nostrils. You immediately turn to your right, and you see what essentially looks like... You know those gigantic metal bowls that they used to, play music on? It's essentially that size, full of blood with bread soaking in it.
Really into the whole Italian thing.
Or somebody really doesn't understand ducks.
Is this him trying to flex? Really? Is this how he does it to impress?
Is it very lit in the...
No, it is very dark, and as stated, this just seems to be like a little reception area. There's another door on the far wall that would lead further into the warehouse. But this is just sitting up on essentially like a counter. And it is a gigantic bowl of bread soaking in blood.
It's bread pudding.
That's the marinara.
Ugh.
Blood congeals pretty quickly. It's not good.
I already feel like my throat drying as the smell kind of intoxicates me.
It's either completely fresh or something's keeping it fresh. You're not sure which.
Okay.
The bread.
Yes, it's the bread.
I go ahead and just move a little bit further up, and just scanning.
As stated, this is a pretty small room.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of that, it just seems like that this is kind of set here. Do you want to try the back door?
Yes.
As you open that door, you are now realizing that the door is a lot heavier than you expected. It looks wooden, but it feels like it's a gigantic metal freezer door the way it opens. There's almost like a suction when you open it. And that is when you can first hear the sound of chains. And then you notice 30 to 40 eyes looking at you. Let's go back to Zlata and them.
Hey, I want to close the door.
Free range. Free range is more fun.
Close the door and put my body weight on it.
This freaks you out.
We're
Okay, a bowl of blood doesn't freak me. Okay, a bowl of blood doesn't freak me out because we eat that. That's my dinner.
Okay,
30
so you just
30 beady eyes? I don't get 30 I don't even like 2 beady eyes looking at me.
They just don't like it live and kicking, and I don't like it not free range. Now I know your taste.
I'm fine with rat blood. It's
Higher standards, honey.
Anyways, you two.
no standard.
Before you die.
And if the warehouse is empty, I still think it's all going to be a trap.
Obviously, 30
Never-
beady eyes.
Will
You're
we,
never given
will
anything.
we following?
You guys stated you guys were gonna let them go and then decide. So it took them an hour to get there. So depends on you guys.
Imagine
I
we're
think
just
Mikhail
sitting-
mentioned something about.
We
I
could
think
have
Mikhail mentioned.
followed them for a bit and then waited some distance away for maybe a phone call or
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Okay.
sense of it being clear.
Just sort of like quiet road.
All right. Can I go ahead and
I'm staring at every angle looking for Strix. I'm looking for yellow eyes everywhere.
give me a perception?
I don't have good perception. No, can't
Um,
see.
Found them. They're all in one room.
Nice.
Back.
You catch a couple of flying critters that have yellow eyes, but they are quite some distance away. They're very clearly not targeting you, so to speak, especially at this moment, but you do occasionally catch a glimpse of yellow in the sky.
I'm gonna make sure the revolver's loaded. I know it's not gonna help, but I'm gonna make sure it's loaded.
It makes
And,
you comfortable.
If they start swooping, I start shooting.
It is at this point the two of you notice also somebody watching you from a distance.
What his eyes look like.
You can't see the eyes, the hood, they have a hoodie pulled down over their face.
no, see, they're going for the Priscilla. Seems to be. Who wants to make the introductions? I think we've made enough friends already this side of the river tonight.
Could just ignore him and hope he goes away. I don't know if that's a good decision. I mean,
Just a guy on foot.
Yes. At least you don't.
Told to watch for us when we arrived.
does he look like he notices that we notice him? Like, has he reacted to us now all looking at him? Or
If he has noticed you guys are looking at him, he just frankly doesn't care.
Is he a vampire? That's something we can tell by sight.
He is a bit of a distance away, but yes, he is a vampire.
Okay.
It's not something you could feel his predatory aura from,
Just the way he stands.
so to speak.
remember, don't do anything stupid. I say that. I was about to start shooting into the sky.
Well, as
Three of
long
us,
as
one of him.
he stays over there.
Almost as if you taunted him with that statement, Mikhail. He begins making a very purposeful march towards you.
I was gonna suggest. I was gonna ask if anybody brought any cards with them, but no. Looks like we actually have to deal with them.
Oh, once he gets roughly about 15 feet away, he throws back his hood, and the glint of yellow in his eyes flashes.
I fired.
Back of the car and hit him as hard as you can with it.
With my car.
I'll pay for the repairs. Just do it.
I will start the engine. And he's probably up to the side, right?
Depends on how you want it to be. If
Oh.
you want to go straight at him, go straight at him. Not
Yeah, let's go straight at it.
It's not gonna change what I'm doing here.
Yeah, I figured.
Fucking hell.
I
I should have
suggest as
bought a
well.
phone before we came over here.
Do we recognize him?
No. He's not somebody that you've ever seen on the Carthian side. Alright, so I need 2 plus 3 plus 2. I'll go ahead and do that. Okay. Could you make me a dexterity plus drive check?
Sure. Oh, that's gonna be 1 dice. Hello.
Roll like 4 10s. It's not out of the ordinary.
But it is not this day.
As you attempt to run into him, he begins to sprint forward with supernatural speed, and you just barely feel a foot on the hood of your car, and then all of a sudden he is now behind you.
Keep driving.
Going forward. Should we call the others?
Yes, I'm gonna start calling.
As you call and you begin to drive away, he kind of just stares over his shoulder back at the car as you guys drive away.
Going to flip him off as we drive away.
I'm gonna start
Going too far for me to curse at him. Call him a dirty owl or something. I don't think he'd hear me, so we gotta do hand gestures.
out of character, obviously having the prior knowledge. Louis is gonna phone Priscilla.
Priscilla, your phone begins to ring.
I closed the door, right? I wasn't kidding. Did
Yeah.
I have enough reflex to close the door?
Yeah, you could close the door. It'd be more like pulling it shut.
Oh, okay. I pulled it shut. One-handed. Kind of busy.
So are we.
Okay, what's your story? My story involves many, many eyes.
Oh, I can only do you one pair, but they were yellow. So,
Oh.
tell me yours. Yours sounds way more. Yours sounds so much more interesting.
Wait, hold on. Out of game. Did I even notice if they were yellow or if they were just eyes?
They were just eyes. They were not yellow.
Yeah, all I heard was beady eyes, and you're like, slam the door.
I found beady eyes, not yellow eyes. They're not fighting against the door.
It here change. I think it's just him flexing on how much that they have over here. That's what this is.
Could open the door again. Okay, so are you guys needing help?
No, we're on our way to you.
Oh, okay.
We left
All
our
right.
new acquaintance somewhat in the dust, and just glancing back to see if I can see him. And he's not giving chase, right?
No, he is not.
Okay. As far as I know, he doesn't seem to be following us. Not even with celerity or any such thing. For
Alright,
the time
well.
being.
Well, if you hear me screaming, you'll know what's going on. I opened the door again.
Okay, I'm keeping an eye out around us as she's playing peekaboo with the freezer.
As you look back in, you do see all the same eyes looking up at you. You do hear chains rattling, and the set of eyes closest to you kind of steps out, and the light from the doorway shines onto him. You see a very emaciated looking man with a rather thick metal collar with chain attached to it. And then in the next blink, he's snarling at you, fangs bared, as he tries to leap at you, but the chain is much too strong for him to break, so he just kind of almost begins to choke himself if he was human.
These are all
But
kindred.
I was gonna ask, are they kindred?
From what
Take a look. Do I recognize anyone?
you do not recognize anybody, but these are all kindred. They
Were scouting.
all of
Snarl.
and all these kindred are very emaciated looking, and it seems like the beast is currently in control. It seems like they're all frenzied right now.
I'm gonna snap a picture and send something to you right now, Louis. And I start
They
taking.
didn't scream. Keep,
I
keep
started
the phone
taking
around
pictures
waiting, please.
and I send them over.
Thankfully I don't got to roll for this. I'm gonna activate Hydra. Hydra's veto. I'm basically poisonous to everyone and anyone that tries to take my blood, including Strix.
Okay.
Looking through these photos as they come through, are they is it Draugr, the zero humanity, feral?
You're asking me or her?
Sorry, I'm asking. Yeah. Question to Storyteller.
They are not Draugr. But it is funny that you do seem to have some experience with what they are. You mentioned them earlier this night.
Nuts. I believe I might be able to speak with our feral friends here. At least I hope so.
Okay. I'm gonna put you on speaker then. And I put him on speaker and hesitantly, kind of
Oh,
not too
does
close.
animalism work over a phone?
Probably not.
No.
Let's be fair, probably not.
Rawr, rawr, rawr.
I need you to put the rat on the phone. I need to have a few words.
Doesn't
If
quite
that was
work
possible.
like that.
Uh,
I'll need to be
well-
there, but I will certainly try.
yeah. Why would they? Okay. I don't even have. There's also a bowl of blood too. I ain't eating that.
Now that you said that, I was actually gonna go back to the blood, and is it human or is it something else?
Are you going to taste it?
I'm just gonna dip one of my knives in it and just take a whiff of it. That I should be able to tell if if it's human or not.
It is human blood from what you can tell. At least mostly.
Hmm.
The reason I say mostly is this seems to be kind of a collective pot. It is not a single entity's blood.
Yeah, I expect as much. That amount. You said it was sitting on like a desk type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna just start poking through the drawers. Just opening them, not messing with anything, seeing what's there.
There's honestly nothing. This place seems to be used for the express purpose of holding these things.
Okay. I'm gonna take the bowl over there. Over to the ravenous little creatures and see how they react to it. I'm not gonna pour it in there. I'm just gonna bring it a little close.
Close enough for them to reach it?
No,
Uh.
of course not.
I make my way back.
They
I'm just gonna put it just, towards the door just a little bit.
they continue straining against their restraints, trying to get to the door where they can get at either you guys or the gigantic bowl. It honestly doesn't matter to them at this point.
Okay. I'm gonna skip the bowl over a little bit, spill it a little bit on their side, get the door closed, and put the bowl back.
Okay.
Cause them havoc for later. Not them, they're already being tortured.
It is. I would say at this point, you guys, if you guys are heading towards the warehouse, you would arrive.
Yep, so with quite a lot of purpose, now knowing that finally an ability is going to play off. It's been a while. Making my way towards the warehouse as indicated.
What about Zlata and Mikhail?
Mikhail will follow. He's interested in seeing what's in the warehouse.
Oh, I'm gonna give Louis back his what is it? Gun. Not bedazzled.
Just a hang up.
I still suspect
You didn't-
Strix are coming for us, so I'm gonna stay right at the vehicle so I can drive away if they attack. I'm not interested in the warehouse trap.
Kind of same. I'm gonna start getting, out close to the door by their car, but towards my bike.
So, yeah, is the door still open or did you close it?
They closed it. It was closed.
So yeah, walking in. So, do introduce me. Let's see what I can get from our new friends.
Oh, they may be a little unfocused. I did kind of tease him a bit. He'll realize after I spilt the pour.
That smell.
You immediately look over that gigantic, almost bucket of blood, but it's a bowl.
Seems wasteful.
Priscila, are you opening the door for Louis, or Louis, are you just gonna open the door?
I open it for him.
And going eye contact with the first one that I see, and I'm going to use the discipline Feral Whispers.
All right. Is that a roll that you need?
It is, yeah. It's manipulation, animal ken, animalism, which is 7.
Okay.
No resistance though, which is good. So
Yeah, I figured.
4 successes.
All right. So, is this just allow you to speak with them, or what exactly?
Speak with and command animals.
Okay. Well, this thing can speak English, or well, Turkish, I should say.
Yeah, it translates. It's I think the book says that it's slightly kind of like goes into Doctor Dolittle territory.
Mm-hmm.
But essentially, you sort of see the more with animals who sometimes end up making animal noises in a way to communicate. If you ever want to take the seriousness out of
Anything. So
situation, yeah.
this thing is not aggressive towards you, but it is still snarling, trying to break its bonds, along with the others in the room.
Now, before anyone gets let out, let's talk.
The one closest to you kind of tries to bring himself as close as he can to you, but obviously you can see the gigantic metal ring begin to almost like tear at his neck skin a little bit.
First question, how did you end up in here?
Don't know. Woke up starving, so hungry, so hungry. and was here.
What's the last thing you remember?
Mugging. Was attacked.
Remember who did it? Did you see their face?
He shakes his head. He goes, and before the mugging, the last main thing I remember was I was at a party a few weeks before the mugging, and it was a, he kind of chuckles, an orgy of sorts.
Was it held by a man with blonde hair and grey eyes, just out of interest?
I don't remember anybody particular. I just remember the girl that I was with that night. She was into some kinky stuff.
Remember where this orgy was?
It was on campus. I don't even know where I am, so I can't really tell you. It was just on campus.
You're in a warehouse. Is it north or, I'm trying to remember, is it west of the river?
You guys are on the European side. So it would be the west side of the river.
Yeah. You're west of the river. Any indication?
I was on not how I got here, no. I do know the college campus was not on the west side. I was on the Antolian side.
I'm going to turn back to the group and inform them. So he tells me that he started on our side of the river. He doesn't know how he ended up here, but the last thing he remembers is a mugging. Before that, he was a rather decadent party, let's just say. My kind of place.
They're taking our prey. That's just
Possibly.
rude.
Any other questions?
How long ago was this?
Doesn't seem to have a concept of time. But I had an idea. Last memory was this party, which he said a few weeks before the mugging, which he experienced.
What's his name?
My friend wants to know what your name is.
My name is Aaron.
Aaron.
Okay. I'll note of that. I got nothing else.
Can you do anything to stop this hunger?
Quite possibly. Just how many of there are you in there?
I've never really stopped to count, honestly, and he kind of turns around and you can see him trying to count, but every so often it seems like he has to start over because quite literally the beast is completely gnawing at him, trying to force him to not focus on, higher brain functions.
Yeah. Louis is going to turn back to the others, and here is what I suggest. There is a bowl of blood, which the purpose for which I don't even care to examine. However, if the Strix are on the way with their hosts in tow, what say you all we raise a little hell?
That's not very
Oh, the
peaceful.
blame will automatically go to us anyway, if anything was to happen here. But why not? Set a blaze.
I mean, we did just try to reassert peace between our two sides of the river. This seems a
Oh
little...
yeah, I said that. How about just him?
Well, they weren't really interested anyway.
Let's just
In
give
fact,
him.
they were just scoffing
He's-
at it.
He said peace was always short-lived. He never said that it's never indicated that it shouldn't even last half a night.
Let's just give it to the one that was willing to talk.
So What I'm thinking is when our yellow-eyed friends arrive, we unleash something of our own. Now, hopefully,
It's a
bodies...
guarantee they're coming. They're coming here.
I have a sneaking suspicion they will be.
All right,
And
why
I'm gonna
not?
turn back to-
Stay in the car because now I can't tell it off.
Eh.
What have I done?
I wanna turn back to Aaron, and I have a proposal for you. You can feed, just do what comes naturally. It will feel alien at first, but trust me, you get used to it. You make me one promise. When you feed, you only feed on those with yellow eyes.
I've never seen somebody with yellow eyes before, but okay.
You'll know them when you see them, and they're getting ever more popular.
But what do I do right now? I'm so thirsty.
Any indication as to that blood? Is it being left for them specifically, or are we?
Give me intelligence plus occult.
So again, I should have come over there. Okay.
You do know that a lot of revenants, they develop their own set of disciplines. One of them you vaguely remember, you're not quite sure, but you think you heard it from Omar, or not Omar, Shem. Or it may have been Omar, now that you're thinking about it. That some revenants can use bread coated in blood to stop themselves from frenzying as soon as they wake up.
So I'm gonna go back to the bowl, take out some of the bread, and go back and say, now before you feed yourself, if there's anyone in there that's still is yet to awake, I want you to feed them with this. They are first and foremost.
He kind of nods, and he kind of looks back around at the others in the area, and he kind of goes, unfortunately, seems like most of us are already awake from what I can tell. I can't see all the way back there, nor could I even reach it. But he extends his hand out.
Pass the bread over to him.
Okay, that gives him a single point of vitae, which allows him to calm down somewhat. And it is at this point, Zlata,
Do I need to get the gun?
your friend has reappeared at a very considerable distance. You can barely see the glint of yellow in his eyes.
I am getting out of the car and I'm pointing my gun at them.
You have just finished listening to this week's episode of Vampire the Requiem 2nd Edition Bloody Waters, part of the Domain Gaming's Contagion Anthology. Written and told by Wyverian. A special thanks to you, the listener. If you wish to continue supporting us, subscribe, like, and share. And as always, comments are welcomed. Until the next chapter, how will you satisfy that thirst? And with what?